children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon.
Yo, VI, play the beat.
Hey there, kids. We have a very special episode coming out this week. Venus is moving into Aries, joining the parade of planets, all hanging out over in Aries. Venus comes to join the party. It feels strange, this feminine energy moving into this Martian house, but at the same time, the energy is welcome. The energy is needed here. So if there is any uncomfortability with bringing that feminine energy into a masculine house, just remember that this energy is needed in the home to turn it from a house to a home, to make it more comfortable. So where we might start with discomfort, it gives us the opportunity to learn how to work with the masculine and feminine energies. Aries was looking like a real sausage fest, I guess, there for a little bit. And now we have something a little bit calmer, a little bit softer, and a little bit sweeter to bring to Aries what was missing, what wasn't there before. This morning, the song that we were channeling was Such Great Heights by Postal Service. Totally thought it was Death Cab for Cutie, only because it's also Death Cab for Cutie. It's the Death Cab for Cutie side quest. So anytime I hear Postal Service, first thought, Death Cab for Cutie, look it up. Nope, Postal Service. It's wearing a masquerade or a disguise. It's essentially the same band with a different energy, with a different approach. Even though they feel the same, something is very different on the inside. The material makeup and structure is what gives it that different vibe and energy. There we go. I was wondering if my vibe and energy was on. We try. Keep ourselves in line. Opening up with that masculine energy, the Emperor in the house. Aries rules the house. There's rules, there's structure. There is boundaries and guidelines. Coming into this space, the only thing that I have to add into this is rules are a really great thing. Boundaries are a really great thing. It's good to follow the guidelines. It's good to read the instructions. However, whenever this kind of situation comes up where you are presented with an establishment of rules, the most important thing for you to do is to check back in with yourself and ask yourself, does this rule make sense? Is this rule safe? Is this rule supporting something that I believe in? And if it aligns, that's great. Follow the rules, follow the guidelines, follow the boundaries, listen to them, heed them, and stay in your lane. Cool. But my word of caution before we even go further into it is, If something in the rules, guidelines, or boundaries does not align, if it doesn't serve you, if it's not keeping you safe, don't do it. Don't listen. Rebel! That's the time for rebellion. And I think having the awareness to put those things into place. Rules are good. Rules are great. It's not down with all the rules, but it's down with any rules that are misguiding or going to lead you the wrong way. So always check back with self. And in a world full of emperors, be your own emperor, be your own ruler, and dictate over your actions and your surroundings. Take ownership of the house, of the home. Moving in. Initiate of Pentacles. We're learning, we're growing. We are figuring out this process of checking through the rules, checking in with our own internal emperor, our own internal guidance. And we're starting to move things now. We are gaining the knowledge and awareness of how to navigate and how to say yes to a rule, a boundary, a guideline that we agree with, that aligns with ourselves, and to decline graciously any rules, guidelines, or boundaries that are not good for us. And I had to add graciously. It's not about starting a fight. It's not about bringing your dog out and immediately chomping a leg off. It's more about bringing your dog to let the people know in the room that you're serious about this, that you will uphold your own rules, your own guidelines, and your own boundaries. So gaining that wisdom, I did not realize. I don't know why I didn't notice or why I'm taking special note, but in one hand we have a pentacle, and in the other, that is a stone cup. We've created a vessel to hold the love and to hold the care. 6 wands. Well, now it's a party, isn't it? Everyone in the room is aligned. Everyone in the room is celebrating. Again, I have this call of caution, this call of question in the back of my mind. Just because everybody else does it, that doesn't necessarily make it right. Yes, them's the rules, but do the rules make sense? Do the rules serve? It's good to be aligned. It's good if we are all here for the same purpose, for the same cause, because we believe in the same sets of rules, guidelines, and boundaries. But I just can't quit coming at this from the dualistic perspective of like, don't just do it because everybody else is doing it. It still needs to make sense. But if it makes sense for you and it makes sense for everyone else in the room, that's a real party. That's a real celebration. That is real cause for movement. Elemental of Pentacles. A little bit of luck, a little bit of hope, and a little bit of blessing coming in. There's sweet treats and sweet rewards that come along with this party. Come to the dark side, they have cookies. This little leprechaun can be good or terrible. Really depends. It's going to bring sweet treats for all, but let's make sure that the rules, the guidelines, the emperor that we fall under is serving the highest, or those sweet treats are going to be nasty. Okay, quit with the caution. Enough. Novice of Pentacles. Still in that pentacle game. Still thinking with that masculine physical establishment. However, Examination. Does this make sense to me? Do I hold care for this thing? Does this serve my purpose? Take a moment, figure it out. Okay, that was actually pretty cool. We had to stop and observe maturity and growth, how people can sound different when they're grown, how people can walk different, be different, not because they have taken on some sort of false identity, but simply because they have grown, because they checked in with themselves. This is the lesson. This is the most important thing to hold on to and remember. To always check back in with yourself. Whenever there is a crowd, a hubbub, a large amount of attention going towards a certain standard, it is always good to come back into center, come back into self. Does this make sense for me? Do I hold this? And what does it mean to me to hold this? Bringing that feminine energy in and choosing what it is that we contain, what it is that we uphold, and what it is that we support. See, that leprechaun can look happy. We can give little gifts, little blessings, tiny little fortunes. Just tiny little fortunes. It can be sweet. It's never a bad thing to question, to ask questions. Always ask questions. If you don't ask questions, how do you know that you even understand what the rules are? It's good to be curious about your surroundings and about your own self. Everywhere you go, everything you do, you are interacting with others, you are relating to others. Venus rules relationships, not just romance, but the way you relate to everything and everyone. So do you follow the crowd? Or do you follow your own self and your own guidance? Who's the emperor in the room? We should all be emperors. We should gather for the sake of true alignment and not because we're seeking alignment. Does that make sense? Does that hold? That holds. Ask. Does that make sense? Does that hold? That holds. Okay. There's where you go. There's what you do. And if it doesn't align, if it doesn't hold, then it's time to go. Jump out the waters and create a river. Burn the house down that held those rules that were not keeping you safe, not upholding your security, things that were not in your best interest, those structures that were not serving your best interest. They'll be lit ablaze by Aries. And that would be the time to pour out those waters and those cares for those structures because they didn't serve, because there was something not quite right in that cup. You chose to not drink it. Look out for the Kool-Aid. Watch out for the Kool-Aid. If there's Kool-Aid in the cup, dump it out and set sail on the river that you flowed. You can pack up, take your thoughts, pack up your thoughts and move it along. Further on down the river. What did we pack up? Lily fell inside. The Elder of Chalices. Growth and maturity. At the end of the river, what you will find is a growth and maturity and an understanding of what truly serves, what upholds not just yourself, but the world around you, your family, your friends, the earth itself. If it is all supported, then it will all be new. It'll all be new. It'll be a little bit new, a little bit old, a little bit borrowed, and a little bit blue. You might feel a little sad about what you've lost, what structures were so familiar. But what you hold, what you contain, is what you have chosen, what has truly aligned with you. And those things give you that graduation, that emotional maturity to recognize that I don't have to drink poison just because you gave it to me. I don't have to drink poison just because everyone else in the room is doing it. I looked into the cup and I didn't like what I saw. So I poured it out and I took my thoughts elsewhere. Now we hold our care and we hold it with pride. We hold it with wisdom. And we hold it knowing that what is inside is truly aligned with us. I don't think I have further to go. That feels like the end of the road, the end of the journey. Truly. Uniting air of the air of Venus with the fire of Aries can sound a bit scary, a bit explosive, but the destruction is necessary if the house doesn't serve. So find a house that serves. Find a set of rules, boundaries, and structures that serves your highest, what your intuition tells you is for you, is good for you, is good for the community, good for everyone. Because if it's not good for everyone, no matter how happy those people look, they're not serving their purpose. Or maybe they are, and maybe their purpose just isn't aligned with you. And that's okay too. Recognizing when you are part of the group and when you're not a part of the group can be sad, it can be blue. You can be blue about it sometimes. But there's this rich green energy of springtime, of new beginnings, succession. Why succession? Of succession. And those fortuitous little favors and blessings can help to point you in the right direction, not just because it feels good, but because it does good. It's the difference of eating a sugary snack cake versus eating a perfectly ripe fruit. When it's just perfect. I'm coming up with like peaches, Georgia peaches. They gotta come from Georgia. I don't know why, but they do. Or at the very least, maybe it's just because in Georgia they actually pick when the fruit is ripe. Perhaps that's the case in the scenario. But when you get like that summertime perfect peach or perfect plum, when it is absolutely divine, isn't that so much better? It can bring you just as much joy, if not more, and it does better for your body. It gives you the water and the hydration, the nutrients that you actually need, as opposed to sugary fillers. Too many sweets will give you a stomach ache. It's not about the sweets. It's not about the treats. It's not about all the little goodies that can bribe and coerce and fill you up with nothing of value or sustenance. It's about finding the true fruits of the earth and getting the sweetest juices from them. The most beneficial, the most healthy thing that you could do to serve yourself is to find what is not only delicious, but also nutritious. And that goes for your relationships as well. Not just your relationship with food and your body and your diet, but with others. What do they serve you? Do they serve you sweets? Is it just filler? Is it just sweetness that loses its flavor after a while, loses its taste, leaves you hungry for more, or makes you hungry for more? Now we're getting into the fake sugars and how they cause people to eat, like crave and consume 3 times the amount of food that their body needs because of something that's wrong with the fake sugar that tricks your brain into thinking that you need more and more and more and more because you're becoming more and more addicted to this thing that doesn't even do anything good for you. A structure that doesn't even do anything good for you. It might feel good, taste good right now. Everybody else is doing it, but at the same time, does it fulfill? Does it hold? When you pour it into your cup, what does it look like? I like that we have a cup of stone and a cup of gold. I think that's a nice transition. It's a really good definition of your growth and development through this time. Through Venus, moving through Aries, it's going to make light and make a point for you to follow, a new guideline that is constructed from within yourself. This is what I uphold. This is what's going to build the walls of my next home. Can't just be thought, gotta be feeling too. Gotta bring it all in and bring it all together. And that's how we can make this transit more beautiful, more fruitful, more fulfilling, more sustaining, and more nourishing to ourselves and to the people around us and to the earth itself. We have to keep bringing in the threes. Keep it in threes. Keep that cycle tight and moving. And 9 is a natural. The growth, the progression, the sustainability will multiply with its abundance because what you are putting into it is actually good. Idiocracy. Don't feed your plants Gatorade just because it's got electrolytes in it. It's not what plants crave. It's not what you crave. So give it what it actually needs. Sure, that sweetness tastes good, but it doesn't serve. So find what does. It's probably more simple than you realized. Probably so simple that you overlooked it. But that is the thing that you need. So pick it up. Uphold it. Pour out what doesn't serve. Let go burn down those structures that no longer uphold what it is that you know is right for you, for your family, for your friends, for your connections. Nourish those relationships. Give it your care, give it your time. Aries will definitely be putting these things on your mind. And that's the perfect time for you to observe your thoughts, to observe your feelings, and determine for yourself. Does it serve? Then you may serve it. Thank you, kids. Have fantastic Venus and Aries. We'll see you next time.